The Book of Sleep Secrets Burned by the Church. Hello, my friend. Welcome to this quiet space. What if long ago the secrets to deep natural sleep were widely known? What if this wisdom existed not just in whispered words, but almost as a kind of ancient, unspoken book of sleep secrets? Please allow your body to gently relax. Perhaps you can let your shoulders soften. Perhaps you can take a slow, quiet breath, feeling it fill you, then softly release. Just allow yourself to settle in. We are about to step back in time. Imagine a time centuries ago when the rhythm of life was dictated not by clocks, but by the sun, by the quiet turn of the seasons. A world where the understanding of sleep wasn't a scientific puzzle, but an intuitive art, a natural part of being human. But what if over time some of this precious book of wisdom became lost? What if, for various reasons, including the rise of powerful institutions like the church, certain natural ways of sleeping, certain ancient understandings were perhaps not truly burned in a literal fire, but instead were slowly suppressed, forgotten, or even deemed unorthodox? In our bright, busy modern world, sleep can sometimes feel like a personal battle, care, and it. Many of us know the quiet frustration of a restless night, the worry about not getting enough rest, the racing thoughts that seem to ignite just as we close our eyes. Insomnia, or simply a troubled night, can feel like a heavy burden. This book of sleep secrets isn't a single physical manuscript. No, it is the accumulated intuitive wisdom of generations, the gentle, unhurried practices that once guided humanity to profound rest, and the burning represents the forgetting the conscious or unconscious suppression of these ancient ways by changing societies, often influenced by new doctrines or beliefs that subtly shifted our relationship with the natural world, and thus with sleep itself. Tonight we will gently turn back the pages of history. We will embark on a calm journey to discover these lost secrets. Each chapter will gently reveal a page from this forgotten book, exploring a different aspect of how our ancestors truly found peace. My hope is that by understanding these lost pages, by allowing your mind to gently wander through these peaceful historical moments, you can find a quiet echo of that ancient calm within yourself. You can allow this journey to help your own mind settle, to guide you towards your own deep restorative rest. This isn't just history, it is a peaceful reflection, a soothing whisper from the past, inviting us to reclaim our own innate ability to find peace. So take another slow, quiet breath. Let your body feel heavy and safe. Let us begin our peaceful journey into the slumber of forgotten times, where the soft glow of candlelight or the warm flicker of a hearth fire created a soothing atmosphere conducive to rest. In this world, our ancestors didn't fight against their natural rhythms. They embraced them. As we travel back through time, picture yourself in a simple dwelling, perhaps a cozy cottage or a sturdy farmhouse. The day as work is done and the evening stretches before you. There are no blaring screens, no endless notifications, just the gentle sounds of nature outside and the soft murmur of loved ones nearby. In this world, sleep wasn't seen as a necessary inconvenience, but as a sacred time of renewal. Our ancestors understood intuitively what modern science now confirms that quality. Sleep is essential for physical health, mental clarity, and emotional well-being. They had rituals and practices passed down through generations that helped them transition smoothly from wakefulness to restful slumber. One such practice was the art of storytelling. Gather round in your mind, SI, as a family settles in, for the evening. The eldest begins to weave a tale, a story passed down through generations. The cadence of their voice, the familiar words all serve to calm the mind and prepare it for sleep. This wasn't mere entertainment, but a form of guided relaxation, a way to quiet the busy thoughts of the day. Another lost page from our book of sleep secrets might reveal the importance of connection with nature. Our ancestors lived in harmony with the natural world, understanding its rhythms and cycles. They knew that spending time outdoors during the day, especially at dawn and dusk, helped to regulate their internal clocks, making it easier to fall asleep when night fell. As we continue our journey through time, we might discover the forgotten wisdom of herbal remedies. Imagine walking through a moonlit garden filled with fragrant plants, known for their sleep-inducing properties: lavender, chamomile, valerian. These weren't just pleasant scents, but powerful allies in the quest for restful sleep. Our ancestors knew how to harness these natural gifts, brewing soothing teas or creating calming sachets to place under their pillows. Perhaps one of the most important lost secrets was the art of truly winding down. In our modern world, we often push ourselves to the limit, filling every moment with activity. But our ancestors understood the value of a gradual transition to sleep. They had evening rituals that signaled to body and mind that it was time to rest. Simple acts like washing up by candlelight, sharing a quiet moment with loved ones, or engaging in gentle stretching all helped to prepare for a night of deep restorative sleep. As we near the end of our journey, let's pause for a moment. Breathe deeply and allow yourself to feel the peace that comes from reconnecting with these ancient wisdoms. These aren't just historical curiosities, but timeless truths that can help us find our way back to natural restful sleep. So my friend, as we gently return to the present, carry with you these rediscovered pages from the Book of Sleep Secrets. Let them inspire you to create your own peaceful bedtime rituals, to reconnect with nature's rhythms, and to embrace sleep as the precious gift it truly is. Remember, the wisdom of our ancestors is not lost. The sun, moon, and stars, nature's original almanac. As the echoes of these celestial rhythms begin to fade, let us consider the very ground they rested upon. What physical connection to the earth itself contributed to their peace? This was another vital page in our lost book of sleep secrets. Picture, if you will, a world where our ancestors slumbered in perfect harmony with the earth's natural cycles. No artificial lights to disrupt their internal clocks, no blaring alarms to jolt them awake. Their sleep was guided by the gentle ebb and flow of daylight, the subtle shifts in temperature, and the whispered messages of the stars above. In this world, the sun was the master timekeeper. As it began its daily ascent, painting the sky with soft hues of pink and gold, our ancestors would stir from their slumber. There was no rush, no jarring transition from sleep to wakefulness. Instead, they awakened gradually, their bodies naturally aligning with the increasing light and warmth of the new day. Imagine the profound peace of this awakening. No harsh buzzing or beeping, just a gentle chorus of birdsong and the soft rustling of leaves in the morning breeze. Their eyes would open slowly, adjusting to the growing light, their minds gently easing into consciousness. This was nature's alarm clock, a far cry from the abrupt and often stressful awakenings we experience today. As the day progressed, our ancestors would move in tune with the sun's journey across the sky. Their activities, their meals, their work and rest periods all flowed in harmony with the natural light. There was no need for watches or clocks. The position of the sun in the sky was all the timepiece they required, and as the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the land, their bodies would instinctively begin to prepare for rest. There was no fighting against the encroaching darkness, no artificial extension of the day. As the light dimmed, so too did their activity levels, their bodies naturally winding down in preparation for sleep. The onset of true darkness was a powerful signal, one that our modern world has all but forgotten. As the last rays of sunlight faded from the sky, our ancestors would have experienced a depth of darkness that is rare in our light-polluted world. This profound darkness was more than just the absence of light. It was a potent biological trigger. In response to this darkness, their bodies would begin to produce melatonin, the hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycle. Without the interference of artificial light, this process would have been robust and efficient, paving the way for deep, restorative sleep. The night sky, too, played its part in this natural rhythm. On clear nights, the moon and stars would have provided not just illumination, but a sense of connection to the vast cosmos. Our ancestors would have known the phases of the moon, the movements of the constellations, using them as markers of time and season. Imagine lying beneath a canopy of stars, the Milky Way stretching across the sky in a brilliant band of light. This awe-inspiring sight was a nightly occurrence for our ancestors, a reminder of their place in the grand tapestry of the universe. Such a view would have inspired not just wonder, but a deep sense of peace and connection, the perfect prelude to restful sleep. The changing seasons, too, would have guided their sleep patterns. As the days grew shorter in winter, they would have naturally slept longer, conserving energy during the cold, dark months. In summer, with its long, light-filled days, their sleep might have been shorter, but no less restorative, perfectly attuned to the needs of the season. This natural rhythm extended beyond just the daily cycle of light and dark. Our ancestors would have been acutely aware of the lunar cycle, the waxing and waning of the moon, influencing not just the tides, but subtle shifts in their own bodies and sleep patterns. And what of those times when sleep proved elusive? Without artificial light to distract them, our ancestors would have had a profound opportunity for introspection and connection with the natural world. Perhaps they would have lain awake, listening to the night sounds of insects and nocturnal animals, feeling a deep kinship with the living world around them. Or maybe they would have gazed at the stars, tracing the familiar patterns of constellations, each with its own story and significance. These quiet moments of wakefulness would not have been seen as insomnia to be fought against, but as natural parts of the sleep cycle, opportunities for reflection and connection. The profound darkness of night would have also played a crucial role in dream experiences. Without the constant stimulation of artificial light and screens, the mind would have been free to wander in the rich landscape of dreams. These dreams, undisturbed by alarm clocks or early morning commitments, would have run their natural course, contributing to emotional processing and memory consolidation. As dawn approached, the gradual lightening of the sky would have gently drawn our ancestors from their slumber. The first bird song, the subtle warming of the air, these were the gentle nudges that eased them back into wakefulness. No jarring alarms, no rush to beat the clock, just a natural, peaceful transition into the new day. This harmony with the natural world extended beyond just sleep patterns. Our ancestors' entire lives would have been shaped by these celestial rhythms. Work, play, social gatherings, all would have been influenced by the position of the sun, the phase of the moon, the changing of the seasons. Festivals and celebrations would have been timed to coincide with significant celestial events, solstices, equinoxes, lunar phases. These were not just arbitrary dates on a calendar, but deeply meaningful markers of time, connecting human activity to the grand cycles of the cosmos. In this world, there was no concept of time management or productivity hacks. Time was not something to be managed or conquered, but a natural flow to be respected and lived in harmony with. This deep connection to natural rhythms allowed for a life that was both more restful and more vital, free from the constant stress of trying to squeeze more hours out of the day. As we reflect on this lost page from our Book of Sleep Secrets, we might wonder how we can reclaim some of this natural wisdom in our modern lives. While we cannot turn back the clock of progress, perhaps we can find ways to reconnect with these natural rhythms, to honor the cycles of light and dark, to find moments of stillness in our busy lives. For in doing so, we might rediscover not just better sleep, but a deeper connection to the world around us, to the vast, awe-inspiring universe of which we are a part. And in that connection, we might find a peace and restfulness that has long eluded us in our artificially lit, constantly connected modern world. Connecting with the Earth's energy, pre-bed cultures. Now, my friend, let us delve deeper into the ancient wisdom of sleep, exploring the profound connection our ancestors had with the earth beneath them. Imagine, if you will, a time before the invention of elevated beds, when humanity found rest and rejuvenation in direct contact with the ground. Picture yourself lying on a simple mat woven from natural fibers, or perhaps directly on the cool, firm earth. There was no complex mattress system, no lofty frame to separate you from the very foundation of our world. Instead, there was an immediate, palpable connection to the earth beneath you. This practice, common in many pre-bed cultures, fostered a subtle yet powerful sense of grounding. Some ancient traditions speak of the earth's natural energy, a gentle, invisible current that can soothe the nervous system. Whether through direct contact or simply by being in close proximity, sleeping low to the ground offered a continuous, unspoken connection to the vast, stable body of our planet. This contact may have helped regulate their body's electrical rhythms, promoting a deeper sense of stillness and balance. Imagine the feeling of being firmly anchored, allowing your body to fully relax and release any tension held from the day. This simple proximity was a profound secret to their unburdened rest, a subtle, constant reassurance that they were safe and supported by the very earth itself. And complementing this closeness to the earth was the use of natural bedding materials. Their beds were not synthetic, not filled with artificial fibers, but were crafted from the very essence of their environment. Picture soft animal hides, perhaps the warmth of wool blankets or the gentle rustle of straw or dried leaves beneath a simple woven mat. These materials breathed. They absorbed moisture. They felt inherently natural against the skin. There was a direct, unfiltered sensory experience of the earth's bounty. Think about the subtle, organic sense of these materials, a faint earthiness, the clean scent of sun-dried straw, the comforting warmth of wool. These were natural lullabies to their senses. There was no exposure to synthetic chemicals or off-gassing from modern mattresses, which can sometimes be subtle irritants that disturb sleep. This simplicity, this profound connection to organic textures and aromas, created an environment of pure, unadulterated comfort. It was a physical manifestation of peace, allowing their bodies to sink effortlessly into the earth's gentle cradle. Imagine the weight of your body slowly melting into the ground, feeling supported and held by the very planet that sustains us. This was not just a physical experience, but a deeply spiritual one as well. Many ancient cultures believed that sleeping close to the earth allowed them to commune with the spirits of nature, to draw strength and wisdom from the land itself. Consider the rhythms of the earth, the subtle vibrations, the gentle pulse of life that thrums beneath our feet. Our ancestors were attuned to these rhythms, their bodies naturally synchronizing with the ebb and flow of the planet's energy. This connection helped regulate their circadian rhythms, aligning their sleep-wake cycles with the natural world around them. Imagine a nomadic tribe setting up camp for the night. They'd carefully scout for the perfect sleeping spot, maybe a cozy patch of soft grass or a comfy bed of fallen leaves. It's like they had this instinctive connection with nature, right? They knew that the ground beneath them wasn't just a surface to crash on. It was a living, breathing entity that could cradle them to sleep and offer a sense of healing. Think about it. Each spot they chose had its own vibe. Some might have been near a gently flowing stream, providing a soothing soundtrack of water to lull them into dreamland. Others might be under a canopy of stars, where the cool breeze wrapped around them like a soft blanket. It's all about that deep, unspoken bond with nature, where every choice they made was about comfort, safety, and a little touch of magic. How cool is that? Sleeping close to the earth? It's a practice that goes way back in many cultures. People believed that by doing this, they could soak up the planet's healing vibes. Imagine waking up feeling refreshed and ready to tackle the day, all because the earth helped draw out those pesky toxins and negative energies while you slept. This whole idea of earthing or grounding is still a thing today. Many folks swear by it, claiming it boosts their mood and even helps with inflammation. Some even go barefoot on the grass or lie on the beach to connect with nature. So have you ever tried it? It might just be the natural pick-me-up you didn't know you needed. Imagine the simplicity of their nightly routine. No need for elaborate bedtime rituals or complex sleep aids. They would simply find a comfortable spot, perhaps roll out a simple mat or arrange some soft furs, and settle in for the night. The earth itself became their mattress, their pillow, their comfort. This closeness to the ground also fostered a deep sense of community. Picture a family or a small group sleeping side by side on the earth. There was an intimacy in this shared experience, a feeling of connection not just to the planet, but to each other. The ground became a shared space, a communal bed that bound them together. Sleeping close to the earth has some pretty awesome practical perks, right? Think about it. In those sweltering hot climates, the cool ground can feel like a refreshing oasis after a long, hot day. It's like nature's own air conditioning. And when it gets chilly, our clever ancestors would dig simple pits in the earth to trap warmth, creating these snug little nests for a good night's sleep. They really knew how to work with what they had, turning the earth into their ultimate comfort zone. It's fascinating how they adapted to their surroundings, using the ground itself not just for survival, but to make their lives a bit cozier. It's a reminder of how resourceful humans can be, don't you think? Sleeping close to the ground isn't just about being comfy. It's really about staying connected to nature, you know? Think about it, our modern lives have us holed up in climate-controlled boxes, way up high on those fancy mattresses. We've kind of lost that earthy vibe. Reconnecting with this ancient practice could bring some real benefits. Imagine feeling the coolness of the earth beneath you, breathing in fresh air, and just being in tune with the rhythms of nature. It is like rediscovering a part of ourselves that we didn't even know we were missing. What do you think? Isn't there something magical about that idea? Imagine the profound sense of peace that comes from lying directly on the earth, feeling its solid presence beneath you. And there is a primal comfort in this connection, a reminder of our place in the natural order of things. It grounds us both literally and figuratively, allowing us to release the stresses and worries of our daily lives. As we reflect on this lost art of sleeping close to the ground, we are reminded of the simplicity and wisdom of our ancestors. They understood intuitively what we are only now beginning to rediscover, that our connection to the earth is vital for our well-being, our sleep, and our very sense of self. This was another fundamental page in the book of sleep secrets that we have largely forgotten. Yet, as we explore these ancient practices, we begin to see how they might still hold relevance in our modern world. Perhaps in reconnecting with the earth, we can find a path to deeper, more restful sleep. As we consider this deep connection to the earth, let us turn our thoughts inward to the most primal compass for sleep, our own bodies. What did our ancestors listen to that we often ignore? This was another vital page in our lost book of sleep secrets. Join me next as we explore the body as oracle, listening to innate fatigue, ignoring the inner clock, pre-scheduled rest. Now, my friend, let us delve deeper into the ancient wisdom of sleep, exploring a powerful page from our lost book of sleep secrets, the profound wisdom of our own bodies. Imagine a time when the decision to rest wasn't dictated by an external schedule, but by an honest, undeniable inner signal. Picture our ancestors living in harmony with the natural rhythms of the world around them. For them, there was no concept of pre-scheduled rest, no need to fit sleep into a rigid timetable dictated by work shifts or the relentless demands of modern productivity. Instead, their bodies were their oracle, a trusted guide that spoke to them in the language of fatigue and rejuvenation. Envision a day in the life of these ancient peoples. From dawn to dusk, they engaged in physical labor, their muscles genuinely tiring, their energy reserves slowly depleting. As the sun began to set, they felt a deep, satisfying weariness settle into their bones. This wasn't the wired, anxious fatigue of an overstimulated mind that we so often experience today. No, this was a clear, unambiguous signal from their physical being. It is time to rest in this world. There was no need to fight against exhaustion or push through fatigue. They honored their inner clock, recognizing it as a fundamental truth of their existence. The very act of living, of engaging physically with their world, built up a natural, profound desire for sleep. There was no need for complex wind-down routines or sleep aids. The day itself was the ultimate preparation for rest. This inherent trust in their body as signals was a fundamental page that taught them to simply surrender to rest when it called. It was a wisdom that we in our modern world have largely forgotten. We have become disconnected from this innate understanding, often ignoring or overriding our body's pleas for rest in pursuit of productivity or entertainment. But imagine, if you will, reclaiming this lost wisdom. Picture yourself at the end of a long day feeling a deep, heavy peace settle over you. There is no internal debate, no mental negotiation. Your brain, having been actively engaged in physical tasks, is ready to quiet. Your body, having expended its energy, craves stillness. This is a state of pure, effortless surrender. Listening to our bodies can lead us to what I like to call the wisdom of unforced surrender. You know, back in the day, our ancestors didn't stress about sleep. For them, it wasn't something to chase or wrestle with. It was just a natural part of life. After a fulfilling day of work, play, or even just hanging out, their bodies would signal that it was time to rest. Nowadays, though, it feels like we're in a constant battle with our minds, right? Racing thoughts and that nagging anxiety when sleep doesn't come right away can make it feel impossible. We're so caught up in trying to force ourselves to sleep that we forget how to relax and let it happen. It's like instead of embracing the natural rhythm of our bodies, we're fighting against it. Wouldn't it be nice to reclaim that effortless approach to rest? In the ancient world, sleep was just part of life, you know? It wasn't something to stress over. If someone woke up in the middle of the night, it was totally normal, just the rhythm of the night playing out. They really believed in their body's natural wisdom, trusting that sleep would come when it was meant to. Imagine that kind of peace. It was like a gentle reminder to let go of control and just embrace the moment. They understood that sometimes you just have to relax and allow sleep to find you instead of chasing it like a lost cause. Now, let us journey further into this world of natural sleep rhythms. Imagine a community where the concept of bedtime was fluid, determined not by the clock, but by the collective energy of the group. As night fell, those who felt the call of sleep would naturally drift towards their resting places. Others might linger by the fire, sharing stories or completing tasks, until their own bodies signaled it was time for rest. This flexibility allowed for natural variations in sleep needs. Some might retire early, their bodies demanding rest after a particularly strenuous day. Others might find themselves energized by the night, their internal clocks set to a slightly different rhythm. There was no judgment, no pressure to conform to a single sleep schedule. Each person's relationship with sleep was unique, respected, and honored. As the day winds down, there's something truly magical about how we transition into sleep, right? It's like nature's way of telling us to slow down and take a breather. When the sun dips below the horizon, everything seems to hush. You can feel the buzz of the day fade away, and the bright lights give way to the warm, cozy glow of fire or the gentle shimmer of moonlight. People start to quiet their voices, and movements become slower, almost like a dance. It's such a beautiful ritual, don't you think? This gradual deceleration isn't just a nice touch. It really helps our minds and bodies shift gears. It's like giving ourselves permission to unwind, letting go of the day's chaos, and preparing for that sweet journey into sleep. Just think about how relaxing it is to snuggle up, listen to the soft sounds of the night, and drift off into dreamland. Contrast this with our modern world, where we often jump from high-energy activities straight into trying to sleep. One minute, we're glued to our brightly lit screens, scrolling through social media or binge watching shows, and the next, we expect our bodies to just switch off in a dark bedroom. It's like asking a race car to stop on a dime. Is it any wonder we struggle to fall asleep? Our minds are racing, filled with thoughts about the day, while our bodies are still buzzing with leftover energy. Seriously, have you ever laid there, staring at the ceiling, wondering why you can't drift off? It's tough. A little routine, like winding down with a book or some calming music, can really help. What do you think? Our ancestors really got that sleep was way more than just shutting your eyes and drifting off, right? It was this whole beautiful process that involved every part of who they were. They didn't just crash into bed, they eased into it. Think about it. They had rituals like winding down after a long day, maybe sipping herbal tea or gathering around a fire to share stories. It was all about transitioning from the hustle and bustle of life to a peaceful, restful state. They understood that preparing for sleep was just as important as the sleep itself, making it a vital part of their daily rhythm. Isn't that just fascinating? They recognized that true rest came not just from physical stillness, but from a state of mental and emotional calm. The worries and stresses of the day were not carried into the night. Instead, they were often shared around the evening fire, discussed and resolved within the community. This practice of communal problem solving before rest allowed individuals to enter sleep with clearer minds and lighter hearts. In this world, waking in the night was not cause for alarm or frustration. It was seen as a natural part of the sleep cycle, a time for reflection, for quiet contemplation, or for tending to necessary tasks. Some cultures even had specific practices or rituals associated with these nighttime awakenings, viewing them as opportunities for spiritual connection or creative inspiration. This acceptance of night waking stands in stark contrast to our modern obsession with unbroken sleep. We have been conditioned to believe that anything less than a solid 8 hours is a failure, leading to anxiety and stress that paradoxically make it harder to sleep. Our ancestors, with their deeper connection to their body's rhythms, understood that sleep patterns could vary naturally without cause for concern. As we reflect on this lost wisdom, we must ask ourselves, what can we learn from our ancestors' approach to sleep? How might our lives change if we began to trust our bodies more, to listen to the signals of fatigue and rest that we so often ignore? What if we allowed ourselves to surrender to sleep when it called, rather than forcing ourselves to stay awake or struggling to sleep when our bodies aren't ready? Perhaps the key lies in reconnecting with our physical selves and relearning the language of our bodies. This might mean paying more attention to our energy levels throughout the day, noticing when we naturally feel tired and when we feel alert. It might involve creating more opportunities for physical activity in our daily lives, allowing our bodies to experience that deep, satisfying tiredness that leads to restful sleep. We might also consider how we can create environments and routines that support this natural transition to sleep. This could involve dimming lights as evening approaches, engaging in calming activities, or creating spaces that invite rest and relaxation. By mimicking the gradual wind down that our ancestors experienced naturally, we might find ourselves more easily slipping into restful sleep. Wrapping up our journey through this ancient wisdom, let's really take to heart the vital lesson of listening to our bodies. In today's fast-paced world, we often feel pressured to ignore our natural rhythms, right? But honestly, the most radical thing we can do for ourselves is to embrace our need for rest. Think about it. When was the last time you truly allowed yourself to unwind without guilt? By rediscovering this lost page from our book of sleep secrets, we're not just getting better sleep. We're building a deeper, more nourishing relationship with it. So let's prioritize those cozy nights and restful days because you totally deserve it. As we get ready to dive into our next chapter, let's hold on to this beautiful idea of surrendering to sleep without any effort. Just picture it for a moment, trusting your body completely, letting that inner wisdom guide you, the kind that's been with us since way back in the day. Imagine how amazing it would feel to just let go and allow yourself to drift off, not just for a night of better sleep, but to truly embrace life more fully. You know, like when you wake up refreshed and ready to tackle the day, it's all about sensing up with those natural rhythms that are part of who we are. Trust me, it can change everything. Dreams as prophecy and healing, ancient interpretations. Now, my friend, let us journey deeper into the realm of sleep, to a time when dreams were not mere flights of fancy, but gateways to profound wisdom and healing. This is a world where the night's journey held immense power, where every slumbering moment was an opportunity for revelation. Imagine a society where dreams were not dismissed, but revered, where the images that danced behind closed eyelids were considered messages from the divine, whispers of prophecy, or keys to unlocking the mysteries of one's own soul. This was the reality for many ancient cultures, spanning across continents and civilizations. Picture yourself in an ancient temple where dream interpreters, the revered dream weavers, held court. These were not mere fortune tellers, but respected members of society, bridging the gap between the waking world and the realm of dreams. Their wisdom was sought after by kings and commoners alike, for in dreams lay the potential for guidance, healing, and transformation. In this world, the act of sleeping was not a passive state, but an active engagement with the unseen realms. As you lay down to rest, you might have performed rituals to invite prophetic dreams, or sought the counsel of a dream weaver to unravel the symbolism of your nocturnal visions. The boundary between sleep and wakefulness was not a stark divide, but a permeable membrane through which wisdom could flow. Consider the profound impact this reverence for dreams had on daily life. A vivid dream might alter the course of a war, guide the healing of an illness, or reveal hidden truths about one's destiny. The dream world was not separate from reality, but an integral part of it, a nightly opportunity to commune with deeper truths. This was a time when the unconscious mind was honored as a source of insight and healing. The journey into sleep was not just a necessity for physical rest, but a pilgrimage into the depths of one's own psyche. Each night held the potential for transformation, for processing the day's events, and for receiving guidance from realms beyond the physical. But as the wheels of time turned, this profound connection to the dream world began to fade. The rise of organized religions, particularly certain factions within the church, cast a shadow over these mystical night experiences. What was once celebrated as divine communication became viewed with suspicion and fear. Imagine the shift in consciousness when dreams, once seen as these sacred messages from the universe, suddenly got a bad rap, being labeled as potential temptations or even demonic influences. It's wild, right? The dream weavers, who were once the go-to advisors, suddenly found themselves pushed to the sidelines, almost like forgotten artists. That deep personal connection to the divine through dreams, it got swapped out for a more centralized, controlled way of interpreting spiritual truths. People started looking to authorities rather than trusting their own intuition. It's like losing that magical spark that dreams once held. Instead of embracing the mystery, society began to fear it, which is just such a bummer. What do you think about that? This wasn't just a sudden shift. It was like watching an ancient wisdom slowly fade away, you know? Imagine a veil being drawn over humanity's eyes, hiding that beautiful inner world we used to tap into through our dreams. It's wild to think about how this suppression wasn't always in your face. There weren't massive bonfires burning dream interpretation scrolls or anything dramatic like that. Instead, it was more of a quiet nudge away from what was seen as pagan or superstitious. People started to feel embarrassed about their dreams, and practices that once brought insight became something to shy away from. It's like we lost a treasure trove of knowledge without even realizing it. Imagine the confusion and loss people felt when their nightly dreams, once a source of comfort and insight, were suddenly dismissed or even feared. It's like losing a trusted friend who always had your back, right? Dreams used to guide us, offering wisdom and healing, but now they've become either funny stories we tell or sources of anxiety that keep us up at night. This disconnect from our unconscious mind has really left a huge gap in how we experience sleep. Think about it. Those vivid dreams that used to inspire creativity or help us process our emotions are now overshadowed by fear and misunderstanding. It's a bummer, honestly, and it makes you wonder what we're missing out on in our nightly adventures. The consequences of this shift were pretty huge, you know. As dreams lost their value, sleeping itself started to lose its charm too. It is wild to think that what was once a sacred time for connection and deep thoughts turned into just another biological necessity. Remember when sleep was this rich, multi-layered experience where you could explore your mind? Now it feels like we've flattened it all down to just being awake or asleep, like a simple on-off switch. It is like we've forgotten how to appreciate those dreamy moments that used to inspire creativity or help us process our feelings. I mean, think about it. How often do we rush through our nights, missing out on the magic of dreaming? It's a real shame. This loss of reverence for the night journey may have contributed to a less integrated, less peaceful relationship with sleep itself. When we dismiss the potential wisdom of our dreams, we close ourselves off from a powerful aspect of our own psyche. The mind's natural processes of healing and integration during sleep become undervalued, potentially leading to a less restful, less rejuvenating sleep experience. Yet even as this ancient wisdom faded from collective consciousness, traces of it remained. In pockets of society, the old ways persisted. Some continued to value their dreams, to seek meaning in the symbols and stories that unfolded in their sleep. And in the realm of psychology, pioneers like Carl Jung would later rekindle interest in the profound significance of dreams. As we reflect on this lost page from our book of sleep secrets, we might wonder, what insights, what healing, what guidance might we be missing by dismissing our dreams? How might our relationship with sleep change if we once again viewed it as a time of potential revelation and transformation? But the story of sleep's secrets does not end here. As the reverence for dreams waned, other ancient wisdom about sleep persisted in quieter ways. The gentle remedies, the herbs and whispers that once lulled our ancestors to sleep, continued to be passed down through generations. These were the practical comforts that filled their world, offering solace even as the mystical aspects of sleep were pushed aside. Imagine the quiet persistence of these remedies, the soothing teas, the aromatic herbs placed under pillows, the whispered lullabies. These were not grand rituals or complex interpretations, but simple, effective practices that connected people to the natural rhythms of sleep. They were the everyday magic that survived even as grander notions of dream prophecy faded. These gentle aids to sleep represent another vital page in our lost book of sleep secrets. They remind us that even as cultural attitudes towards sleep and dreams shifted, the fundamental human need for rest and comfort remained constant. These practices, rooted in nature and tradition, offered a bridge between the ancient wisdom of sleep and the changing world. As we dive deeper into the fascinating world of sleep wisdom, let's keep that special respect for dreams that our ancestors had close to our hearts. Think about it. How cool would it be to bring back that reverence for our nighttime adventures into how we see sleep today? Now, let's chat about some of those gentle remedies that have been around forever, like chamomile tea, which is super soothing, or lavender, known for its calming vibes. These herbs and little rituals have been our companions in the quest for peaceful sleep for ages. It's like having a cozy blanket for your mind, right? So let us explore these timeless treasures together and see how they can help us catch those Z's in a more meaningful way. Ready to dive deeper into the world of natural comforts? In this next chapter, we're going to explore some time-honored practices that have been passed down through generations. And trust me, there's a treasure trove of wisdom waiting for us. Think about things like herbal teas or bedtime rituals that our grandparents swore by. These simple yet powerful habits could be just what we need in our fast-paced lives to help us catch those elusive G. So join me on this journey as we unravel the mysteries of sleep, discovering how these age-old tips might just be the key to a more restful night. Let's turn the page together. Folk medicine for slumber, grandmother's secrets. Now, my friend, let us journey back to a time when healing wasn't found in a bottle from a pharmacy, but in the earth itself, shared through generations. This is a world of gentle, natural remedies for slumber, a deeply comforting page in our lost book of sleep secrets. Imagine a time when communities relied on folk medicine for their rest. This was the domain of wise women, healers, and the accumulated knowledge of the elders. These were grandmother's secrets, passed down through whispers and hands-on teaching. Picture, if you will, the gentle preparation of an herbal tea brewed from soothing plants known to calm the body and mind. Perhaps chamomile with its delicate, earthy aroma, or valerian root, known for its deeper, more potent, relaxing properties. Can you see a simple poultice of crushed leaves applied to a tired brow, or a fragrant sachet of lavender placed beneath a pillow? These were not powerful sedatives, but gentle helpers, working in harmony with the body's natural inclination towards rest. This knowledge was intuitive, experiential. Our ancestors observed which plants brought peace, which eased discomfort, which invited drowsiness. There was a deep connection to the natural world, a trust in the earth's bounty to provide comfort and healing. These remedies were often accompanied by quiet rituals, a gentle intention set as the herb was prepared, adding another layer of calm to the healing process. Imagine the wisdom passed down through generations, the quiet conversations between mother and daughter, grandmother and grandchild. The careful selection of herbs, the precise measurements, the patient brewing and steeping. This page taught the profound wisdom of natural support for the body's own sleep mechanisms. But as we turn the page, my friend, we find a darker chapter in our story. As the influence of organized religion, particularly the church, grew, many of these ancient, earth-based healing practices, including those for sleep, began to be viewed with suspicion. This was not a literal burning of individual herbal recipes, but a more insidious form of suppression. Picture the rise of the Inquisition, where anything outside of sanctioned religious practice could be considered heresy. Healers, especially women who practiced folk medicine, might be accused of witchcraft. The very act of turning to nature for solace and healing, rather than solely to divine intervention through the church, could be seen as defiant. Imagine the fear that must have gripped communities. The whispered warnings, the hurried hiding of herbal preparations, the reluctance to share knowledge that had once flowed freely. These gentle remedies were often associated with older pre-Christian beliefs deemed pagan cures. This shift discouraged reliance on traditional plant wisdom. It eroded the direct connection between humanity and the natural pharmacy of the earth. The emphasis moved away from gentle, holistic support and towards more rigid, often punitive, approaches to illness and suffering. Can you feel the weight of this loss? The fear of being labeled a heretic or a witch would have silenced many of these grandmother-esque secrets, causing this vital page from the Book of Sleep Secrets to fade from common knowledge. This loss of natural remedies meant humanity lost a powerful, accessible tool for inviting effortless slumber, replaced often by fear or a sense of helplessness. Yet, my friend, not all was lost. In hidden corners and remote villages, in the quiet whispers of those who dared to remember, these ancient sleep secrets lived on. Imagine a grandmother carefully teaching her granddaughter the properties of chamomile, the soothing effects of lavender, always with a cautious glance over her shoulder. Picture a healer risking persecution to provide comfort to those suffering from sleeplessness. The careful gathering of herbs under the cover of darkness, the hushed explanations of their properties, the silent gratitude of those helped to find rest. These brave souls kept the embers of this ancient knowledge alive, a flickering flame of hope in a world growing increasingly disconnected from nature's rhythms. They understood that these gentle remedies were not just about inducing sleep, but about restoring balance, about honoring the body's natural cycles. Imagine the relief of those who found solace in these natural remedies, the easing of tension as a warm, fragrant tea was sipped, the gradual relaxation as the scent of lavender filled a room, the quiet gratitude for a night of restful sleep, free from the torment of insomnia. These remedies were more than just physical aids. They were a connection to the earth, to the wisdom of ancestors, to a time when humanity lived in closer harmony with the natural world. Each herb, each remedy, carried with it a story, a lineage, a piece of forgotten lore. Can you see the intricate dance of knowledge and suppression? The ebb and flow of ancient wisdom and new dogma? This was a time of great change, of shifting paradigms, where the very nature of healing and rest was being redefined. Yet, even as these gentle remedies were pushed to the margins, their essence remained. In the scent of a garden, in the taste of a simple tea, and the touch of a cool leaf against fevered skin, the memory of these ancient sleep secrets lingered. And now, my friend, as the faint scent of these ancient herbs begins to dissipate, let us turn our attention to the very atmosphere they breathed. What profound quality of their world offered an unspoken lullaby. This was another vital page in our lost book of sleep secrets. Imagine a world without the constant hum of electricity, without the ceaseless chatter of televisions and radios, without the incessant ping of notifications. A world where the setting of the sun truly marked the end of the day's activities, where the night was a time of rest and reflection. Imagine stepping into a world wrapped in profound silence, right? It's like you can hear the gentle whisper of the wind dancing through the leaves, the soft call of a night bird echoing in the distance, and the comforting crackle of a dying fire. Can you just feel that peace washing over you? It's an open invitation to slow down, breathe deeply, and really tune into yourself. In moments like these, you might find your thoughts drifting to cherished memories or dreams you've tucked away. Maybe you remember a childhood camping trip, sitting around a fire with friends, sharing stories and laughter under a starlit sky. Or perhaps it's a time when you simply needed to escape the noise of everyday life, seeking solace in nature's embrace. There's something magical about that kind of stillness, right? It invites you to reflect, recharge, and reconnect with what truly matters. So when was the last time you found yourself in a moment like this? In this world, sleep wasn't something you had to fight against or conquer, you know? It was just part of life, as natural as the sun setting each evening. Without all that artificial light buzzing around, our bodies could really sync up with the rhythms of day and night. Imagine waking up with the sunrise, feeling refreshed, and drifting off when the stars come out. It's like nature's own clock, keeping us grounded and in tune with the world around us. It's pretty amazing how much better we feel when we let ourselves just go with the flow instead of resisting it, right? As the day slowly winds down, everything just feels different, you know? The light dims and suddenly conversations get softer and people move around a bit slower, almost like they're savoring each moment. It's like the air itself is saying, time to rest, dream a little, and recharge. This silence wasn't just empty or heavy. It was alive with the soft whispers of nature, like a gentle lullaby that has rocked humanity to sleep for ages. Think about it, the rustle of leaves dancing in the breeze, the soothing patter of rain tapping on rooftops, and the distant howl of a wolf echoing through the night. These were the comforting night songs our ancestors cherished, wrapping them in a cozy blanket of familiarity. It's almost like you can feel their connection to the earth, right? Imagine them sitting around a fire, sharing stories, while the sounds of the wild cradled them into a peaceful slumber. It's such a beautiful reminder of how intertwined we are with the world around us. Can you imagine falling asleep to such a symphony? The deep sense of connection to the natural world, the feeling of being held in the embrace of the night? This was not just sleep, but a profound rest, a renewal of body and spirit. This page in our lost book of sleep secrets dives into a totally different vibe with the night, darkness, and that sweet silence. It's a reminder that sleep isn't just something our bodies need to recharge. It's like a sacred escape. Think about it, those moments when you drift off, you're not just resting. You're healing and dreaming up new worlds. How cool is that? It's that magical time when your mind gets to wander and you can explore all those wild thoughts and ideas that don't always get a chance to shine during the busy day. So let's cherish those nighttime hours, you know? They're way more than just sleep. They're a journey into our own minds. As we wrap up this chapter, my friend, let us take a moment to really soak in the memory of those gentle remedies and whispered secrets. Remember those quiet nights when the world seemed to hush and cradle us to sleep? It's like we were wrapped in a cozy blanket of calm. By holding on to these memories, we might just rediscover that natural, restful way of living that feels so good, you know? Imagine finding joy in the simple things again, like watching the sunset or listening to the rustle of leaves. That's the kind of peace we need to chase after. Pre-industrial quiet, a natural soundscape. Now, my friend, let us journey into a world that once existed, a world of profound quiet and natural rhythms. This is the realm of sacred silence that our ancestors knew intimately, a soundscape, so different from our modern cacophony that it might seem almost alien to our ears. Imagine, if you will, a medieval village as night falls. The last echoes of daily toil fade away, replaced by a stillness so deep you can almost feel it settling around you like a soft blanket. This was not an empty silence, but one rich with subtle natural sounds. Picture yourself standing at the edge of this village. The gentle rustle of leaves in the night breeze creates a soothing murmur, a constant yet ever-changing whisper that seems to speak directly to your soul. In the distance, an owl hoots its mournful call, echoing across the darkened landscape. These sounds don't disturb the peace, rather they enhance it, weaving together to create a tapestry of tranquility. Can you hear the soft patter of rain on thatched roofs, a rhythmic, gentle sound that lulls the mind and body towards rest? There are no harsh, sudden noises to jolt you awake, no sirens or car alarms to shatter the peace, just the consistent, organic sounds of nature itself. This, my friend, was the natural soundscape our ancestors knew intimately. It was a world where the ambient noise didn't assault the senses, but rather invited them to relax and let go. The human brain wasn't constantly bombarded with stimuli to process and filter. There was no need for white noise machines or noise-canceling headphones. The world itself provided the perfect auditory environment for deep, restful sleep. But alas, this sacred silence was not meant to last forever. As we move forward in time, we start to catch those first whispers of change. It's like a gentle breeze stirring the leaves, right? The distant rumble of progress is slowly but surely rolling into our peaceful village, bringing with it a mix of excitement and anxiety. You can almost feel the energy in the air, like something big is about to happen. Just think about it, new ideas, fresh faces, and maybe even some unexpected challenges. It's a little scary, but also kind of thrilling, you know? Imagine the first time the villagers heard the clatter of machinery in the distance, a sound so alien, so out of place in their quiet world. It must have seemed like an intrusion, a harbinger of things to come. And indeed it was, for with the dawn of the industrial age came a new soundscape, one that would forever change the way humans experienced. Imagine this, our once peaceful village is slowly morphing into something completely different. The occasional rumble of a passing carriage, what used to be a comforting sound, is now replaced by the constant buzz of cars zooming by. Can you picture it? That rhythmic clang of the blacksmith's hammer, once a symbol of hard work and craftsmanship, gets drowned out by the relentless pounding of factory machines. It's like the heart of our village is being muffled. And remember those gentle chats in the town square? They're now overwhelmed by the loud hustle and bustle of city life. People rushing by, their conversations blending into a chaotic symphony of noise. It is almost like we're losing our village soul in this whirlwind of change. Do you feel that too? The charm of simpler times is fading, and it's hard not to miss it. This, my friend, is the screaming of progress, a relentless assault on the ears that never truly ceases. Even in the dead of night, there is always some background noise, some constant reminder of human activity. The sacred silence of our ancestors becomes a distant memory, a luxury that few can now afford. Consider for a moment the impact this has on our ability to rest. Our nervous systems are constantly on alert, always processing, always filtering. Even when we try to sleep, our brains are working overtime to block out the ambient noise of our modern world. The natural distinction between day and night becomes blurred as artificial light and sound extend human activity. Well into the hours once reserved for rest, sleep isn't just something that happens naturally anymore. It feels like we have to chase it down, right? We've turned our bedrooms into these mini sanctuaries with blackout curtains and white noise machines, all in a bid to recreate that peaceful vibe our ancestors enjoyed without even trying. But let's be real, can these modern tricks really capture the deep, calming essence of a night before all the hustle and bustle? Think about it. Back then, the world was quieter, and the stars lit up the sky without any city lights competing for attention. We're missing that raw connection to nature, and no amount of fancy gadgets can truly bring it back. What do you think? As we lose touch with this profound quiet, we also lose something of ourselves. The ability to simply let go, to drift into deep, restful sleep without effort or struggle, becomes increasingly rare. We find ourselves tossing and turning, fighting against the very world we've created in our pursuit of progress. But all is not lost, my friend. Even in this noisy modern world, there are still those magical spots where we can soak in a taste of that sacred silence. Picture this, a cozy cabin tucked away deep in the woods, far from the hustle and bustle of civilization. As night falls, the only sounds that reach your ears are the soothing whispers of nature itself. Can you hear it? The wind gently rustling through the trees, the soft call of night birds serenading the moon, and the gentle babble of a nearby stream, almost like nature's lullaby. It's like hitting the pause button on life, allowing you to breathe, reflect, and just be. How amazing would it feel to disconnect from everything and just soak in that tranquility? In such a place, we can begin to understand what we've lost and perhaps find a way to reclaim it. We can learn to appreciate the profound impact that true quiet can have on our minds and bodies. We can rediscover the art of simply being present in the moment, letting go of the constant mental chatter that plagues our modern lives. Even as we search for those little pockets of tranquility, we have to face the truth. For most of us, that sacred silence we once knew is pretty much a thing of the past. I mean, think about it. How often do we hear the constant buzz of our phones, the chatter of social media, or the endless noise of city life? It feels like we can't turn back the clock or unring the bells of progress, right? But here's the silver lining. By really understanding what we've lost, we can find fresh ways to carve out moments of peace in our lives. Imagine creating a cozy nook at home just for you, where you can sip your favorite tea and unwind with a good. Or maybe it's a daily walk in the park, where you can soak in the beauty of nature and escape the chaos even if just for a little while. It's all about remembering the importance of stillness in a world that never stops moving. So how can you make space for quiet in your own life? Let's embrace the challenge together. As we reflect on this lost page in the Book of Sleep Secrets, let us also consider how our ancestors found comfort and security in their rest. For the sacred silence was not the only factor that contributed to their peaceful slumber. There was another element equally important and equally lost to most of us in the modern world. Imagine a medieval household as night wraps around it like a cozy blanket. The fire in the hearth flickers low, casting dancing shadows that seem to tell stories on the walls. Gathered close for warmth and safety, the family members sleep together, not tucked away in separate rooms, but huddled in a shared space. This was the norm for much of human history, right? It's kind of heartwarming to think about how families relied on each other, creating bonds that were as strong as the flames keeping them warm. You can almost hear the soft whispers and laughter from earlier in the evening, a reminder of the togetherness that defined their lives. It's a beautiful picture of unity, don't you think? Imagine the sense of security that came from sleeping in the presence of your loved ones, the knowledge that you were not alone, that others were there to watch over you and keep you safe. This communal sleep was more than just a practical arrangement. It was a fundamental aspect of human social bonding, a way of reinforcing the ties that held families and communities together. Can you feel the subtle comfort that comes from hearing the steady breathing of those around you, the reassuring presence of other human beings close at hand? This was the natural state of human sleep for thousands of years before the modern concept of private bedrooms became widespread. As we delve deeper into this lost wisdom, we begin to understand that sleep was not just a physical necessity for our ancestors, but a social and emotional experience as well. It was a time of shared vulnerability, of mutual protection and care. The very act of sleeping together reinforced the bonds of family and community, creating a sense of belonging and security that is often lacking in our modern, isolated sleep environments. But as with the sacred silence, this communal aspect of sleep has largely been lost to us in the modern world. We prize our privacy, our individual space, but in doing so have we perhaps lost something vital, something that our bodies and minds still crave, even if we are not consciously aware of it. As we conclude our exploration of the sacred silence, let us carry forward this understanding of sleep as not just a solitary act, but a communal one. For in rediscovering these lost secrets, we may find new ways to improve our own rest and reconnect with the deep wisdom of our ancestors. The whispers of that ancient quiet still echo through time, inviting us to listen, to slow down, to remember what it means to truly rest. And heeding these whispers, we may yet find our way back to the profound peace that our ancestors knew, a peace that goes beyond mere absence of noise to touch the very core of what it means to be human. Shared warmth and primal security in sleep. Now, my friend, let us journey back to a time when sleep was not a solitary affair, but a shared experience that bound communities together. Imagine, if you will, the primal comfort of lying down amidst your kin, surrounded by the gentle rhythms of shared breath and the warmth of nearby bodies. For countless generations across the vast tapestry of human history, the concept of a private bedroom was as foreign as the stars above. Instead, our ancestors embraced a different way of resting, one that spoke to our deepest need for connection and security. Picture, if you will, a large communal space as night falls. The air is thick with the scent of wood smoke and the day's labors. Families and extended groups gather, spreading out simple mats or rudimentary beds across the earthen floor. There is no separation, no walls to divide one from another. Instead, there is only the comforting presence of the tribe. As darkness settles, bodies nestle close, not just for warmth, though that was certainly a welcome benefit on cold nights. No, this closeness served a far more profound purpose. It was about shared warmth, yes, but also about primal security, about knowing in the deepest part of your being that you were not alone in the vast, dark night. Imagine lying there, your eyes growing heavy with sleep. The sounds around you are not intrusive, but deeply reassuring. The soft rise and fall of chests nearby, the quiet rustle of blankets as someone shifts in their sleep, the barely audible sigh of a dreaming child. These are not disturbances, but lullabies, constant reminders that you are safe, that you are part of something larger than yourself. This physical closeness fostered an immense sense of security that is hard for us to fathom in our modern, individualistic world. There were no vast, empty spaces to feel lost in, no quiet fears lurking in the shadows of an empty room. Instead, you were enveloped in the collective presence of your people, a human cocoon that encouraged deep, peaceful rest. This communal sleep was more than just a practical arrangement. It was a fundamental secret to the unburdened slumber of our ancestors. It knitted tribes and families closer together, creating a physical and emotional bond that extended even into the unconscious hours of the night. This shared experience of vulnerability and trust deepened connections, reinforcing the social fabric that was so crucial to survival. But as the wheel of time turned and societies evolved, this ancient practice began to fade. The growth of cities, the rise of more complex social structures, and the emergence of an individualistic culture all conspired to change our sleeping habits. The concept of the private bedroom emerged, first as a symbol of status for the wealthy, and later as a societal norm that spread to all levels of society. This was not a sudden change, not a literal burning of communal sleeping practices. Rather, it was a gradual, quiet transition that led to the rise of isolation in our nightly rituals. Imagine the shift from being constantly surrounded by the comforting sounds and warmth of others to suddenly being alone in a separate room. While this new privacy offered its own benefits, it also introduced a subtle sense of vulnerability to the night. Anxieties, which might have been soothed by the presence of others, now had more room to grow in the quiet solitude of a private space. The page in our metaphorical book of sleep secrets that spoke of the immense comfort of the tribe of shared security began to fade. The idea that sleep was a fundamentally communal act was replaced by the notion that it was a solitary, personal pursuit. This gradual shift towards individual isolation, while offering personal space and privacy, perhaps subtly stripped away a primal source of nighttime reassurance. We gained the ability to decorate our own spaces, to control our immediate environment, but at what cost? In our modern world, we often find ourselves lying alone in the dark, with only our thoughts for company. The reassuring sounds of shared breathing, the comforting presence of others, have been replaced by the hum of electronics and the distant noises of urban life. We've gained privacy, but perhaps lost a profound, inherent sense of security in the dark. This is not to say that our modern sleeping arrangements are inherently flawed. They offer us control, privacy, and the ability to tailor our sleep environment to our individual needs. But perhaps there's something to be learned from our ancestors' communal sleep practices. Perhaps we can find ways to recapture some of that primal sense of security, even in our individual spaces. Some cultures still practice forms of co-sleeping, with parents sharing beds with young children. Others find comfort in the presence of pets in their bedrooms. These practices, while not identical to the communal sleep of our ancestors, speak to that same deep-seated need for connection and security during our most vulnerable hours. As we reflect on this lost page in our book of sleep secrets, we might consider how we can incorporate elements of communal comfort into our modern sleep routines. Perhaps it's as simple as the reassuring presence of a partner, or the gentle weight of a weighted blanket mimicking the press of nearby bodies. Or maybe it's about creating rituals that connect us to our loved ones before sleep, even if we're physically separate. The echoes of our communal past still resonate within us, whispering of a time when sleep was a shared journey into the realm of dreams. While we may not return to the large, shared sleeping spaces of our ancestors, we can still honor that part of our heritage. We can recognize that our need for security and connection doesn't disappear when the lights go out, and find new ways to meet those needs in our modern context. What a cozy thought, right? As the memory of communal warmth starts to fade, let's dive into another fascinating part of our ancestors' sleep rituals. Picture this. What soft, mesmerizing glow guided them into dreamland? This is like another crucial page in our lost book of sleep secrets. The fire, with its flickering light and that hypnotic dance, was absolutely central to helping our forebears drift off to sleep. Can you imagine gathering around a crackling fire, feeling the warmth wrap around you like a cozy blanket? That gentle glow not only illuminated their faces, but also created a soothing atmosphere that made it easier to let go of the day's worries. The rhythmic sound of the crackling wood, combined with the soft light, was probably the perfect lullaby. It is a beautiful reminder of how nature played such a big role in our ancestors' lives, don't you think? Imagine the scene. As night falls and the communal group settles for sleep, a fire burns low in the center of the space. Its warm light casts gentle shadows on the walls, creating a cozy cocoon of soft illumination. The flames dance and sway, their movement almost hypnotic, drawing the eye and calming the mind. You can almost feel the warmth wrapping around you, right? It's like nature's own lullaby, soothing everyone into a peaceful state. The crackling of the fire adds a rhythmic soundtrack, while the scent of burning wood fills the air, reminding us of simpler times. It's the perfect backdrop for sharing stories, or just enjoying the silence together, feeling connected in that moment. There's something magical about gathering around a fire, don't you think? It brings out laughter, whispers, and even the occasional heartfelt confession. It's a little slice of heaven, where worries fade away and friendship blossoms. It wasn't just about giving off light or warmth, though those things were super important, right? The fire became this cozy focal point, almost like the heart of the gathering. Picture it, that flickering flame creating this natural, calming backdrop, kind of like a living piece of art. Its steady glow and crackling sounds helped to quiet those busy minds, making it easier to unwind and let go of the day's hustle. As night fell, it was like the fire whispered, "Hey, it's time to relax." You could just sit there, lost in thought or sharing stories with friends, feeling the warmth wrap around you. It was the perfect way to transition from the buzz of daytime activities to the peaceful embrace of night. The soft crackle of the flames, the occasional pop of a spark. These sounds blended with the quiet breathing of the group, creating a soothing auditory landscape. It was nature's lullaby, a gentle reminder of safety and warmth as the darkness pressed in around the edges of the firelight, flickering flames as bedtime signals. Now, my friend, let us journey back in time to a world where the flickering flames of a hearth fire were the primary source of evening illumination. This is a world of gentle shadows, of warm glows, and of profound relaxation. Imagine yourself in a humble dwelling as the sun dips below the horizon. The day's labors are done, and the family gathers around the hearth. The fire crackles softly, casting dancing shadows across the room. This is not merely a source of warmth or a means to cook, but the very heart of the home. Picture the flames, my friend. See how they undulate, shifting between deep reds, bright oranges, and soft yellows. This is a light that does not demand your attention, but rather invites your eyes to soften, to relax. It is a natural, soothing balm for the senses, so different from the harsh, consistent light we know today. This firelight was more than just aesthetically pleasing. It was a powerful, instinctive signal to our ancestors' bodies and minds. As the flames danced and flickered, they sent an unmistakable message. The day is truly ending. It's time to unwind, to let go of the day's concerns, to prepare for the embrace of sleep. Imagine sitting before this fire, feeling its warmth on your skin, watching the embers glow. This was not a passive act, but a natural sensory ritual. It was a transition, a bridge between the active day and the restful night. The very act of gazing into the flames helped to slow racing thoughts, to calm anxious minds, to ease the body into a state of profound readiness for slumber. As the fire slowly dimmed, so too did the world around them. This gradual fading of light was in perfect harmony with their bodies' natural rhythms. There was no harsh cutoff, no sudden plunge into darkness. Instead, the gentle dimming guided them towards sleep, a natural and effortless wind down that we have largely lost in our modern world. But alas, my friend, this ancient, calming ritual began to fade as humanity marched forward on the path of progress. The invention of artificial light sources marked the beginning of a profound change in our relationship with darkness and sleep. Picture the first gas lamps, their steady, unwavering light a novelty in a world accustomed to the dance of flames. Then came the incandescent bulb, brighter still, banishing shadows with the flick of a switch. And now in our modern age we are surrounded by the glow of LEDs and the ubiquitous screens that dominate our evenings. This was not a literal burning of the fire, but a slow technological disruption of an ancient rhythm. The soft, flickering glow that had encouraged relaxation for countless generations was gradually replaced by increasingly bright, consistent, and stimulating forms of illumination. Imagine the shift, my friend, from a world where the arrival of night was a gradual, soothing descent into darkness, to one where night could be instantly banished at will. The natural transition from light to dark, once a powerful ally in our quest for restful sleep, was shattered. Our eyes and brains, once attuned to the gentle fading of daylight, became accustomed to constant, even intense, illumination. long after the sun had set. This constant stimulation, particularly from the blue-rich light of modern screens, actively interferes with our body's natural melatonin production. It tricks our brains into thinking it's still daytime, making it harder and harder to unwind and fall asleep naturally. This technological progress, while offering undeniable convenience, inadvertently robbed us of a powerful ancient sleep aid. The page in our lost book of sleep secrets that spoke of the fire as gentle hypnosis became obscured, hidden beneath layers of artificial light. Yet, my friend, all is not lost. We can reclaim some of this ancient wisdom, even in our modern world. Imagine creating a nightly ritual that mimics the soothing effects of firelight. Perhaps it's lighting a candle as the sun sets, its gentle flame a signal to your body that it's time to begin winding down. Or maybe it's installing warm, dimmable lights in your home, gradually lowering their intensity as bedtime approaches. Picture yourself an hour before sleep, turning off harsh overhead lights and relying instead on the soft glow of a lamp. As you move through your evening routine, the gentle dimming of your surroundings helps to ease your mind and body towards rest. Ever thought about our ever-present screens, those glowing rectangles that seem to be glued to our hands every evening? It's wild, right? Imagine actually setting them aside as night falls. Or if you can't resist, at least use those blue light filters to soften the harsh glow. It's like bringing a cozy campfire vibe into your living room. This little switch can help you reconnect with that natural rhythm our ancestors thrived on. Think about it, how often do we miss out on stargazing or just chilling with loved ones because we re-glued to Netflix? Taking a break from screens could totally recharge our minds and spirits, making those evening moments feel more meaningful. What do you think? Would you give it a shot? But let's not forget, my friend, the magic of firelight goes way beyond just how it looks. It's like a full-on experience for all your senses. Think about it. The soft crackling of the flames is like nature's own little soundtrack, right? And that cozy warmth on your face. It's like a big, warm hug that wraps you up and makes you feel safe. These sensations totally help your body wind down and get ready for sleep. It's not just about the sight. It's about how it feels to be near a fire, letting all those little moments of comfort ease you into a peaceful night. So next time you're around a fire, take a second to soak it all in, every sound, every warmth. It's pure magic. In our fast-paced world, finding ways to create those cozy, multi-sensory experiences for better sleep is a game changer. Think about it. There's something so calming about the gentle hum of a white noise machine, right? It's like the soft crackle of a fire, lulling you into a peaceful state. And let's not forget that warm, snuggly feeling of a heated blanket, which totally mimics the comforting glow of a fire on your skin. These modern tools might not be the exact same as what our ancestors experienced, but they definitely help recreate that soothing vibe that makes drifting off to dreamland so much easier. Plus, it's all about creating a little sanctuary for yourself where you can unwind and let the day's stress melt away. As we reclaim these ancient rhythms, we may find that our sleep becomes deeper, more restful. We may rediscover the profound relaxation that comes from aligning ourselves with the natural cycle of light and dark. In doing so, we honor the wisdom of our ancestors, even as we navigate the complexities of our modern world. But firelight wasn't the only thing that helped them drift off to dreamland. Picture this: the gentle rustle of leaves outside, the soft chirping of crickets, and maybe even the distant sound of a babbling brook. These soothing sounds, along with comforting rituals like sharing stories or sipping warm herbal tea, filled their homes as night fell. They were all part of our lost book of sleep secrets, just waiting for us to rediscover and bring back into our busy lives, oral traditions and mind-soothing narratives. Now, my friend, let us journey into the realm of stories in the dark, where narrative becomes a gentle lullaby for the weary mind. This is a world of whispered tales and soothing voices, a time when the night was filled with the magic of spoken words. Imagine, if you will, a time long before the glare of screens and the constant hum of electricity. Picture a family gathered around a flickering hearth, faces aglow in the soft, dancing light. This was a nightly ritual, as old as humanity itself, where stories were shared and passed down through generations. In this world, the storyteller was a revered figure, a keeper of wisdom and dreams. They might be a wizened elder, their voice rich with the weight of years, or a parent, their words a comforting blanket for their children. As night fell and the world outside faded into darkness, their voices would rise, weaving tales of heroes and monsters, of love and loss, of triumph and tragedy. Close your eyes for a moment and transport yourself to this scene. Feel the warmth of the fire on your skin. Hear the soft crackle of burning wood. And then listen as the storyteller begins their tale. Their voice is low and rhythmic, a steady cadence that washes over you like gentle waves. There are no jarring sound effects, no sudden plot twist to jolt you from your reverie. Just the ebb and flow of words, painting pictures in your mind. As you listen, you might find your eyes growing heavy, your breathing slowing. The story carries you along, but not in a way that demands your full attention. Instead, it allows your mind to drift, to wander through the landscapes of your imagination. You might see the characters in your mind's eye, or perhaps the story blends with your own memories and dreams, creating a tapestry uniquely your own. This, my friend, was the power of narrative as lullaby. It was a natural, effortless path to slumber, a way to transition from the cares of the day to the realm of dreams. The storyteller's voice became a bridge between waking and sleeping, guiding listeners gently into the arms of Morpheus. But as with so many ancient practices, this too began to fade with the march of progress. Imagine now the gradual shift as new forms of entertainment began to creep into our evenings. First came the printed word, bringing stories out of the oral tradition and onto the page. While reading before bed can still be a calming activity, it requires a different kind of engagement, a more active participation of the mind. And then came the radio, bringing voices from afar into our homes. No longer was the storyteller a familiar presence, but a disembodied voice accompanied by music and sound effects. The stories became more complex, more stimulating, designed to capture and hold attention rather than to soothe and relax. And then, my friend, came the television. Picture the change in the family dynamic as faces turned from the hearth to the glowing screen. The soft, warm light of the fire replaced by the harsh blue glow of the cathode ray tube. Stories were no longer left to the imagination, but presented in vivid, moving images. The pace quickened, plots became more intricate, and our brains were asked to process more and more information even as the hour grew late. In this new world, the gentle art of storytelling as a path to sleep began to be lost. Our evenings, once a time of winding down and reflection, became filled with stimulation and excitement. We found ourselves consuming content right up until the moment we closed our eyes, our minds still buzzing with the images and sounds we had absorbed. The internet and streaming services only accelerated this trend. Imagine the contrast between the ancient storyteller and the modern binge watcher. Where once we listened passively, allowing our minds to drift and our bodies to relax, now we actively engage with our entertainment, making choices, following complex narratives, and exposing ourselves to a constant stream of new information. This shift, while bringing us undeniable benefits and pleasures, has also disrupted our natural sleep patterns. Our brains, evolved over millennia to wind down with the setting sun, now find themselves on high alert late into the night. The gentle transition from wakefulness to sleep, once eased by the soothing cadence of a familiar voice, has become abrupt and jarring. Yet, my friend, all is not lost. Even in our modern world, we can reclaim some of the power of narrative as lullaby. Imagine creating a new bedtime ritual, one that harkens back to those ancient practices. Perhaps it's a time for sharing personal stories, recounting the events of the day in a calm, reflective manner. Or maybe it's listening to an audio book, chosen not for its gripping plot, but for its soothing narration. Picture yourself lying in the dark, eyes closed, as a gentle voice weaves a tale. Feel your breathing slow, your muscles relax as the words wash over you. Allow your mind to create its own images, to wander and explore within the safe confines of the story. This is not about staying awake to find out what happens next, but about letting go, about using the narrative as a bridge to the land of dreams. Reclaiming this lost art could really be the perfect remedy for the overwhelming chaos of our modern evenings. Seriously, think about it. When was the last time you gathered with friends or family, sharing stories that made you laugh or even shed a tear? Those moments of connection are what make life truly rich, right? It's like a warm hug for the soul. Imagine curling up on a cozy couch with a good book, losing yourself in a story that takes you to another world. Or picture yourself sharing a heartfelt conversation over a steaming cup of tea, where you can really open up and connect. It's these little things that can bring us back to what matters most, don't you think? Let's dive back into those simple pleasures and make our evenings feel special again. And let's not forget how important it is to unwind. Slowing down can feel like a luxury these days, but it's crucial for our well-being. Imagine setting aside your phone, taking a deep breath, and just letting your mind drift. It's about preparing ourselves for a good night's sleep, allowing our bodies to relax and recharge. So let's embrace this journey back to the basics, shall we? It could really change the way we experience our evenings. As we wrap up this journey exploring the power of stories in the dark, let's take a moment to soak in the wisdom passed down from our ancestors. You know, when the world outside gets quiet and the night wraps around us, there's something truly magical about the human voice and the tales we share. It's like a warm blanket, right? Those stories can transport us to different worlds, making us feel less alone. They remind us of our roots, our dreams, and even our fears. In that magic, we might just find the key to unlocking restful, rejuvenating sleep. So next time you're winding down, think about the stories that resonate with you. Maybe they'll guide you to a peaceful night's rest. What do you think? But our journey through the lost pages of the Book of Sleep Secrets is not yet complete. For even as we rediscover the soothing power of narrative, we must also confront a peculiar aspect of sleep itself. What happens when we wake in the dark hours of the night? How did our ancestors view and respond to these nocturnal awakenings? This, my friend, is another vital page in our exploration, one that holds its own secrets and wisdom. So let us turn now to the midnight pause, embracing the waking hour and uncover yet another lost art of sleep. Segmented sleep as natural human rhythm. Now, my friend, let us journey back in time to a world where sleep was not a single, unbroken stretch, but a gentle, segmented rhythm. This is a world of quiet contemplation of natural cycles and a profound connection with the night. Imagine waking gently in the profound darkness of the deepest part of the night, perhaps an hour or two after midnight. This wasn't an anxious awakening, but a period of peaceful, conscious awareness. For centuries across many cultures, before the widespread use of artificial light, human sleep was often segmented. This wasn't one continuous block of rest, but typically two distinct phases. A first sleep that began after dusk, followed by a period of quiet wakefulness, and then a second sleep that lasted until dawn. Imagine the stillness of the night, right? You've got the soft glow of embers crackling in the hearth, and you can hear the gentle breathing of your family members nearby. It's that magical time when the world feels like it's paused, and people might be engaging in the quietest of activities. Some might be tending to the fire, adding a log here and there, while others are just lying in bed, lost in their thoughts. Maybe they're meditating or even praying, soaking in that peaceful vibe. Or perhaps they're sharing whispers with a loved one, talking about dreams or plans for the next day. There's no rush to fall back asleep, no anxiety about tossing and turning. This is just how the night flows, a natural rhythm that invites reflection and connection. It's those little moments that really bring a sense of calm, don't you think? This period of quiet wakefulness allowed their minds to gently process the day's events, to release thoughts or to engage in introspection without the distractions of daylight. It was a natural interlude for contemplation, a time for the quiet work of the mind before returning to deeper rest. This page in the book taught that a flexible two-part sleep was a natural human rhythm. Imagine the deep, soothing peace that washed over everyone during that acceptance. The midnight pause wasn't just a break. It was a golden moment of calm that felt like a warm hug. It was the perfect chance to dive into our thoughts, maybe reflect on our dreams or the little things that make life beautiful. Just sitting there, surrounded by that cozy darkness, you could feel the world slowing down, right? It's in those quiet moments that we often find clarity, where we can breathe and just be. Whether it's pondering life's mysteries or simply soaking in the stillness, it's those pauses that remind us to appreciate the here and now. But as we turn the pages of history, we see a dramatic shift. With the advent of widespread artificial lighting, particularly after the Industrial Revolution, the concept of a single continuous block of sleep began to be enforced. As light extended the day and productivity became paramount, the natural midnight pause became increasingly inconvenient. This was not a literal burning of segmented sleep, but a societal condemnation of night waking as insomnia. Imagine this big shift. We went from enjoying those peaceful moments of quiet reflection to suddenly seeing waking up in the middle of the night as some kind of problem. It's wild, right? Waking up became this disorder, a signal that something's off with your sleep. And let me tell you, that led to a ton of anxiety. You wake up and instead of just rolling over, you feel this wave of frustration wash over you. You start worrying about not getting enough sleep, and before you know it, you're desperately trying to force yourself back into dreamland. It's like a vicious cycle. You know, it's so common these days to hear people stressing about their sleep, when really those quiet moments can be a chance to just breathe and reflect. The page in the Book of Sleep Secrets that once celebrated those magical midnight pauses has pretty much been flipped shut. Can you believe that? Instead of embracing the natural ebb and flow of human sleep, we've been stuck chasing this rigid idea of uninterrupted slumber. This whole cultural shift, pushed by our fast-paced lives and the demands of industrial society, has actually led to what many of us now experience as insomnia. It's wild when you think about it. Remember those cozy nights when we could just drift off whenever? Now, with our busy schedules and screens keeping us up, it's like we've forgotten how to relax and just let sleep happen. It's a real shame, don't you think? Picture the stark contrast, from peaceful acceptance of night waking to the frantic glances at the clock, the tossing and turning, the growing anxiety as sleep eludes us. It wasn't that our bodies changed, but that our expectations and our environmental cues shifted dramatically, making a natural pattern feel like a personal failure. This loss of acceptance for waking in the night is a profound and often overlooked secret that once allowed for more peaceful rest. The midnight pause, once a cherished part of our nightly rhythm, became a source of stress and worry. But what if we could reclaim this lost wisdom? Imagine embracing the midnight pause once again, not as a problem to be solved, but as a natural part of our sleep cycle. Picture yourself waking in the night and, instead of immediately trying to force sleep, allowing yourself to simply be awake, to breathe deeply, to let your thoughts wander, to engage in quiet contemplation. And this is not to say we should abandon the conveniences of modern life or the benefits of consolidated sleep, but perhaps we can learn from our ancestors, finding a balance between the demands of our modern world and the natural rhythms of our bodies. Imagine the relief of knowing that waking in the night is not a failure, but a normal part of human sleep patterns. Picture the peace that comes with accepting these moments of wakefulness, rather than fighting against them. This acceptance alone could transform our relationship with sleep, easing the anxiety that often compounds sleep difficulties. As we close this chapter of our journey through the lost book of sleep secrets, let us carry forward this wisdom of the midnight pause. Let us remember that our sleep patterns are as individual as we are, and that there is no one right way to sleep. Perhaps by embracing the natural ebb and flow of our sleep cycles, we can find a deeper, more restful sleep. But our exploration of ancient sleep wisdom does not end here. As this fascinating glimpse into their segmented nights fades, let us turn to the overarching philosophy that truly defined their relationship with rest. What deeply held belief about sleep has been lost? This was the final, most crucial page in our lost book of sleep secrets. Join me next as we explore sleep as sacred act, respecting the liminal. We will delve into the profound reverence our ancestors held for sleep, not just as a biological necessity, but as a sacred transition between worlds. We will uncover how this deep respect for sleep shaped their nightly rituals and their overall approach to rest. Imagine a world where sleep was not just a mundane activity, but a revered journey into another realm. A world where the act of falling asleep was treated with the same reverence as a religious ceremony. This is the world we will step into next as we continue our journey through the lost wisdom of sleep. As we prepare to turn this final page, take a moment to reflect on what we've learned about the midnight pause. How might embracing this ancient wisdom change your own relationship with sleep? How could accepting periods of wakefulness as natural and even beneficial transform your nights? Remember, my friend, that the wisdom of our ancestors is not lost, but merely forgotten. By reclaiming these ancient sleep secrets, we can forge a new, more harmonious relationship with our nightly rest. So let us carry forward the lesson of the midnight pause as we prepare to uncover the final, most profound secret of our ancestors' approach to sleep: pre-modern reverence for the state of sleep. Now, my friend, let us journey deeper into the realm of sleep, to a time when slumber was not merely a biological necessity, but a sacred act, a crossing into a mystical space. Imagine a world where the act of sleeping was revered, where it held profound meaning and spiritual significance. Picture ancient civilizations across the globe, where sleep was seen as a boundary, a liminal space between the waking world and the spiritual realm. It was a time when the soul might travel, when messages from ancestors or deities could be received, and when the body underwent mysterious, profound renewal. This deep reverence meant that sleep was approached with respect and often with ritual. It wasn't something to be rushed or taken lightly. The act of preparing for sleep, of entering that unconscious state, was often accompanied by quiet prayers, meditations, or offerings. The bed itself might be seen as a sacred space, a portal to another realm. Imagine the peaceful surrender that came with this profound respect for sleep. There was no sense of resisting slumber, no feeling that it was wasted time. Instead, it was an essential, powerful, and deeply meaningful part of existence, just as important as waking life. This ancient wisdom taught humanity to approach sleep not as a forced cessation of activity, but as a valued spiritual journey. It was a time of renewal, of connection to something greater than oneself. The act of sleeping was seen as a way to commune with the divine, to receive guidance, and to rejuvenate both body and spirit. But alas, my friend, this reverence for sleep began to erode with the rise of certain societal values. Imagine a world slowly shifting, where productivity, constant vigilance, and a more purely rationalist view of life began to take hold. This was not a literal burning of sacred sleep rituals, but a gradual, pervasive shift to viewing sleep as lost time or weakness. Picture the new philosophy emerging. You can sleep when you're dead. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. While seemingly benign, these sayings began to subtly devalue the act of sleeping itself. Sleep became a mere necessity, a passive state to be minimized or even beaten in the pursuit of more waking hours for work, study, or consumption. The idea of spiritual connection through dreams was dismissed as superstition. The ancient wisdom that spoke of sleep as a sacred, powerful act was slowly closed and forgotten. It was replaced by a narrative of constant activity, of maximizing every waking moment. This change in fundamental belief transformed sleep from a revered passage into a mere intermission, a necessary but begrudged pause. Imagine the anxiety and insomnia that began to plague many as a result of this profound philosophical shift. We stopped respecting sleep for its inherent value and started seeing it as an obstacle to be overcome, subtly leading to a disconnect from our natural ability to rest. But let us not despair, for the wisdom of our ancestors is not lost forever. We can reclaim the sacred nature of sleep, rediscover its profound importance in our lives. Imagine a return to the reverence for sleep, a recognition of its power to heal, to inspire, to connect us to something greater than ourselves. Picture a world where we once again approach our nightly slumber with respect and ritual, where we create sacred spaces for rest, free from the distractions of our modern world, where we recognize that the time we spend in sleep is not lost, but gained in renewal, creativity, and spiritual connection. Imagine the transformation that could occur if we embraced sleep as our ancestors did, if we saw it not as a weakness to be overcome, but as a strength to be cultivated. If we recognize that in sleep we are not passive, but actively engaging in the most profound processes of renewal and growth. Sleep isn't just about hitting the pillow and catching some. It's way more profound than that. Think about it when we dive into sleep. We're opening a door to a world of deeper understanding and healing. It's like tapping into a cosmic rhythm that connects us to everything around us. When you really surrender to sleep, you're not just wasting time. Nope. You're actually recharging your mind and body, sparking creativity and boosting your energy levels. Ever noticed how your best ideas often come right after a good night's sleep? It's like your brain is working behind the scenes, sorting things out and giving you fresh perspectives. So the next time you're tempted to skip on sleep, remember, it's not just rest. It's a chance to gain insight and vitality that fuels your day. As we wrap up this chapter of our journey through the lost book of sleep secrets, let's take a moment to really soak in this important truth. Sleep is sacred, my friend. It's not just a time to catch some Z's. It's this magical liminal space, a boundary between our waking lives and the dream world. Think about it when we sleep. We tap into a realm of creativity and potential that's simply amazing. So let's treat it with the respect it deserves. Remember, in those quiet hours, we're not just resting. We're diving into one of life's greatest mysteries where our minds can explore, heal, and grow. Embrace it and let it inspire you. As we really start to embrace this wisdom about sleep, something magical happens, right? Our relationship with sleep shifts from this nightly struggle to something we actually look forward to, a cozy journey into a world where we can recharge and dream big. Imagine curling up in your favorite blanket, letting go of the day's stress, and drifting off knowing you're honoring your body and mind. When we respect our need for rest, we're not just getting shut-eye. We're nurturing ourselves, fueling our creativity, and refreshing our spirits for the day ahead. So why not treat sleep like the essential gift it truly is? It's all about finding that sweet balance, you know? And so as we prepare for our own nightly journey into the realm of sleep, let us do so with a sense of reverence and anticipation. Let us create rituals that honor this sacred act, that prepare us for the profound journey we are about to undertake. Let us approach our beds not with reluctance, but with gratitude for the gift of rest and renewal that awaits us. For in reclaiming the sacredness of sleep, we reclaim a part of ourselves that has long been forgotten. We reconnect with the wisdom of our ancestors, with the rhythms of the natural world, and with the deepest parts of our own being. And in doing so, we may find that we not only sleep better, but live better, more connected to the profound mysteries that surround us. As you get ready to hit the hay tonight, take a moment to soak in this timeless wisdom. Think of sleep not just as something you have to do to survive the next day, but as a truly sacred experience. Set up a cozy little nook just for you, maybe some soft lighting, a comfy blanket, and your favorite calming scents. When you lay down and start to drift off, realize that you're diving into one of life's biggest mysteries. It's not just about shutting your eyes. It's a journey where your mind can wander, your dreams can unfold, and you can recharge for all the amazing things waiting for you tomorrow. So embrace it, okay? Sleep is your chance to reset and rejuvenate. And it's just as important as anything you do while you're awake. For in sleep, we are renewed. In sleep, we are connected. In sleep, we are transformed. And in recognizing the sacredness of sleep, we recognize the sacredness of life itself in all its mystery and wonder. As our peaceful journey through time comes to a close, allow the quiet wisdom of these lost pages to settle gently within you. We've explored the extraordinary book of sleep secrets, not a single physical book, but the accumulated, intuitive wisdom of generations. We've seen how this book was perhaps burned not by literal fire, but by the slow erosion of natural rhythms, the rise of noise, isolation, artificial light, and a societal shift away from respecting sleep itself. Imagine, if you will, a world where sleep was not a luxury, but a sacred ritual. A world where our ancestors slumbered deeply, effortlessly, because their lives were in harmony with the very principles of restful existence. Their sleep secrets were woven into the fabric of their daily lives, their connection to nature, and their profound trust in their own bodies. Picture a village at dusk, the soft glow of firelight flickering through windows. The day's work is done, and as darkness falls, a gentle hush settles over the land. There are no glaring screens, no constant hum of electricity, just a whisper of wind through trees and the distant call of night birds. In this world, sleep was not a battle to be won, but a gentle descent into restorative peace. Our ancestors understood on a deep, instinctual level the rhythms of their bodies and the world around them. They knew that as the sun set, so too should their waking minds. But fear not, my friend, for this ancient wisdom is not lost to us. It lives on, a quiet echo, in our very bones. You don't need to live in a pre-industrial village to reclaim this profound knowledge. You can begin gently to apply some of these principles to your own modern life. Try to consciously dim your world as evening approaches. Let the soft glow of candles replace the harsh glare of electric lights. Seek out moments of true quiet away from the constant chatter of televisions and smartphones. Embrace the profound darkness that our ancestors knew so well, allowing your eyes to adjust to the gentle play of moonlight and shadow. Practice listening to your body's innate fatigue rather than fighting it with caffeine and artificial stimulation. When you feel that heaviness in your limbs, that gentle fog settling over your mind, honor it. These are the whispers of your body's ancient wisdom, guiding you towards rest. If you wake in the night, greet it with gentle acceptance. Our ancestors often experienced periods of wakefulness between sleep cycles, using this time for quiet contemplation or gentle conversation. Instead of tossing and turning in frustration, embrace these moments as opportunities for peaceful reflection. And above all, begin to respect sleep once more, not as lost time, but as a sacred, essential act of profound renewal. Your body, my friend, is incredibly wise. It inherently craves this deep, restorative peace. You don't have to fight for it. You can simply, gently allow it, just as our ancestors did, guided by the very pages of this ancient, unwritten book. As we bid farewell to this journey through the lost pages of sleep, carry with you the knowledge that true rest is your birthright. It is not something to be earned or achieved, but a natural state to which you can return. May this exploration bring you a profound sense of tranquility. May it offer you a gentle invitation to your own deep restorative slumber. Remember, the wisdom of countless generations sleeps within you, waiting to be awakened. As you move forward from this moment, carry with you the quiet strength of those who came before. Let their peaceful slumber guide you toward your own. In the soft darkness of night, in the gentle embrace of your bed, know that you are reconnecting with an ancient, powerful tradition. Your journey to reclaim your sleep scrolls has only just begun. Each night is an opportunity to deepen your connection to this timeless wisdom. Be patient with yourself, for like any ancient skill, this too takes practice. But know that with each passing night, you draw closer to the profound rest that is your heritage. As we part ways, my friend, I invite you to close your eyes. Feel the weight of your body sinking into the earth, just as your ancestors did. Let the quiet of night envelop you, a soft cocoon of peace. Breathe deeply, slowly, feeling the tension of the day melt away with each exhale. May your dreams be filled with the whispers of ancient forests, the gentle lapping of pristine lakes, the soft rustle of wind through tall grasses. May you find in your slumber the deep connection to nature that our ancestors knew so well. And when you wake, may you carry with you a renewed sense of peace, a deeper connection to your own innate wisdom, and the quiet strength of generations past. For in reclaiming your sleep scrolls, you reclaim a part of yourself that has been waiting patiently to awaken. Good night, dear friend. May your slumber be deep, your dreams be sweet, and your awakening be filled with the gentle joy of true rest. Until we meet again in the realm of peaceful histories and forgotten wisdoms, sleep well.